Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Avini Vibes. What is tonight? February 26th. Ooh, it's a short month, so we all got to get busy. We only got a couple more days, right? 2026. I'm your host, Christine Rolando from beautiful Warwick, New York, which is Hudson Valley's for you. If you don't know, I'm about 40 something miles from New York City. Live in the country, although the city is not too far from where we are. We just welcome our guests tonight. We welcome all of you as distributors and friends, and you feel like family. Every week, I look forward to being here with all of you this evening. My husband says, "Oh, is it the night that we have to eat dinner quick and get everything cleaned up?" And I say, "Yep, we're eating early tonight." So Thursday nights make an impact on our family as well. But I just want to thank you for being here. We're very blessed to have the most amazing technologies, second to none leadership in this company, and we're really truly changing people's lives. I know that many of you have been with Avini for a while, and some of you perhaps are guests. But if you're a guest and you got invited here tonight, just want you to know somebody thinks a lot of you. They really care about you, your health, your future, and your family as well. Remember, we make no medical claims. We don't diagnose, we don't treat, and we're here to listen, to learn, and of course, be educated. Just a quick snapshot. I put something in the chat. I want to thank Carol Witt. Couldn't do this without Carol. She's always there technology wise. Pat Tracy and Carol and I were on earlier, and Carol's like the tech gal. If you have a question, she's our go-to girl. She knows it all, believe me. And someone was telling a story about Carol's two arms today, and he listened. He's a brand new distributor with us, and he said he heard that story about some woman that Eddie Kwaski told him about. Her one arm is this, and when the other arm is that, and so I was sharing, and I got a kick out of that. But that's Carol, beautiful person, always grateful that she's here to help. Please mute, and I see that many of you are already muted. This way we can have a good, crisp, clean recording for you. So if you want to go back and listen to this at a later time. Also, I did put something in the chat about Victoria Chumo. Victoria is an Avini customer. She's also like my second daughter. I've known her since she's probably 8 years old, and I'm very, very blessed to have her as my son's girlfriend also. And she's tried out for this last year. It's Muscle and Fitness, her magazine. And guess what? Some of you I've already asked to vote just through the chat during the week, because she was in fifth place. She went to second, and now she's in first place. So I'm very excited. Victoria is a pharmacist, but I had influence on her early on. Her parents said, "Oh no," because she was in pharmacy school, and I started sharing healthy stuff with her, and her mom and I started bringing her down that path, and she wasn't sure if she wanted to finish pharmacy school, but she did, and she has her MBA as well. Bright girl, and she's in first place right now, so I need your help. So if you can at a later time or grab that chat and vote for Victoria, we appreciate it. We have tonight to keep her in the round, and then we're going to push her all the way through the month of March to keep her in first place. The prize is $20,000, so it's a
Wow.
good prize, and she has an impact on our community, so we support her for that. Wow. All right, let me catch my breath here. We need the link. The link's in the chat, Lisa, just so you know. Okay, it's in there. So if it's not there, we'll add it again. One thing about Avini, I have to tell you, and you probably already know this, that you meet some amazing people, just truly amazing. But being on the show here, as on Avini Vibes, even though I thought I knew Sandra, I learned a lot about her in the last couple days because she's our special guest this evening. And I just want to read you this because this is pretty, we have a lot in common there. And I don't have my PhD like you do, but I did live in Alabama. So tonight's guest, Dr. Sandra Thornton. She's a committed follower of Jesus Christ and God Almighty, graduate from Tuskegee University in Alabama with a BS in biology and a minor in chemistry. She graduated from Virginia Commonwealth University with a master's degree in psychology and a PhD in counseling in psychology. Sandra's very, very active in her church, Rejoice in Jesus Ministries, and she has one adult son, with her late husband. And guess what? She's currently married to, many of us know your husband, Alfred. He's Albert. He's amazing. And for 17 years, they've been married, and they are high school classmates, and they were varsity tennis players. I didn't know you play tennis. You're going to have to get out there and hit, girl. Thank you for being here, Sandra. But let's start with this. We want to know why Avini, and a little bit about more about you, not a little bit about you, but we want to give you the floor and share with us. Listen, you have a lot of experience as a professional. You didn't need to do this, but why did you? Why did you choose Avini, or maybe Avini chose you? Welcome, Sandra.
Thank you. Thank you. As a result of being on this opportunity right now, Avini Vibes, I came to realize my why in life has never changed. I want to help people and I don't want to be poor. It's that simple. I remember even being a little girl when I was trying to think about what I wanted to do and be when I grew up. It was, I want to help people. I really want to help people. And what got me into Girl Scouting very early was they would do service projects and we would go visit different types of homes. And so I've always had a desire to really help people. But what I've really realized just in the last couple of days is if you don't have a strong why, whatever your goal is, it's not likely that you're going to make it because there isn't something bringing you along when the difficult times come, and they will come. If they have not come for someone just yet, keep living. All of us have hard knocks along the way. But if your why is clear, you'll make it because no matter what it is, your why will cause you to overcome whatever the obstacle is. So I am positive that very early, I did not want to lack funds. And I remember my dad being alcoholic would often be short of money on paying bills. And my mom would say, catch him early, honey, catch him early. And I would know on payday, go to dad, ask for what I wanted. But as I grew older, and especially in high school, I decided I wasn't really interested in guys because my dad had set an example that said you can't really rely on them. So much later, when the opportunity came to do another MLM, and I met Dave Johnson, who was just so gracious, just genuinely kind. And he told me, Sandra, this thing is going to blow up and be big. Because of my respect for him, I said, got nothing to lose. I'm not going to be poor. I'm not going to be lacking. And it has turned out to be a wonderful venture. And it has affected our lifestyle because you do not have a ceiling. You determine how far you want to go, when you want to put in sweat equity, and when you want to relax. You don't do a lot of relaxing consistently if you really want more. And I wanted more. So at the point that we were in a different company and it was going south because of poor management, and Dave said, Sandra, we're going to do something and it's going to be big. You can make it. Because I had respect for him, I was able to jump on and I have no regrets at all. The other point that this brings up that I want to share with everybody is be careful who you're hanging with, who you talk to, who you share your life with makes a big difference in how far and how fast you can go. Had I not already befriended Dave Johnson, when he said that, I might have said, well, I don't know about you, bro, because I would not have been impressed by him. But just because I dared to hang with people who were superior to me in many ways, academic education isn't the whole thing, y'all. Believe me, it's not. And the PhDs fight among themselves just like regular people do. And some of them have 2 or 3 PhDs. That doesn't even mean they're brighter. And I found that out. So I am happy that I had the opportunity to choose Avini. And I am so happy I did. There are some of the sweetest people, caring, genuinely caring people. And I have found that out just by texting. And when I get to a summit and I get to literally hug them, wow, it's like the skies open up. I remember the first time I got to hug Ray Shulin. Both of us had tears in our eyes. And we hadn't seen each other in real life. But each time you decide who you're going to give a piece of yourself to, make sure it's somebody worthy of your time, or at least somebody that you can glean from. And because of my love for the Lord, who has taught me there are no little people in his eyesight, everybody is worthy. It just depends on the choices you make. Did I answer your question?
Wow, that was so beautiful. Yes, you did answer my question. Now, what about for your family? You have you've shared this, you said MLM. Well, I just want people to know I have on my big whiteboard, I have whiteboards all around my office here. My son wanted to know if he could, absolutely not. But MLM, making lives meaningful, that's what it means to me. I have it written across the top of my whiteboard because that's what we do, right? Some
Right.
people go, oh, MLM. Like I know when Eddie Kowalski shared this with me, I had been in other companies for years throughout my career of a not-for-profit director for 30 years. But I said I trusted Eddie, and I knew I liked hanging out with Eddie, known him a long time, and that was the integrity. And the integrity of this company, Sandra, you hit the nail on the head, is second to none, second to none. We got fine leadership. We got one in the house here. We got a lot of them in the house. We got Tony with
A
us,
lot.
Tony Marie,
Yeah.
Diamond, you just hit it too. The it's the ceiling, right? There's no ceiling to this, and we've only just begun. But what about some of the people that you've worked with? Maybe talk about a little bit about the products, because I do see we have some guests. So if you can just touch on the products a little bit, some maybe a testimonial that you've experienced.
The testimonials that we have, close to 2,000 that are recorded, I can't imagine how many are not recorded, are truly incredible and amazing. The one that touches my heart the most is number one, I'm not sick. I'm only 79. I've got a full head of hair. I don't have pain anywhere in my body. And it might be because I'm on the Avini products. So my favorite testimony is that I'm in good health and my um, well-being, my strength are through the roof. I just started physical therapy just because I wanted to be strong. I don't want my bones to be less dense, which is not healthy. And they do get thinner as you get older. So as I paid more attention to that, I have noticed if I don't do something different, I'm going to have what's typical. The physical therapist, the third time I was with him, was taking me through different exercises. And one of them was a bungee cord. And you had to go in all four directions with this thing strapped to you. And he said, go as far as you can and touch this wall right here. Each of those four directions, I hit the wall. His mouth fell open. He said, you are really strong. And I'm thinking, well, is that unusual? I guess he could read my face. And he said, that is very different, especially for somebody your age. And I had no trouble reaching the walls in those four directions. So my favorite testimony is that I have not been sick. I feel good. I have more energy. Well, Al will tell you I'm always with energy. But I've noticed a lot of my peers and people much younger than me, they don't do so well. And I have to sometimes slow down to let them be. My husband's laughing because sometimes he was one of them. And that's my second favorite testimony, that my husband had a hip situation that was very, very painful. I didn't know it. We would go to the grocery store and he would say, I'm going to wait for you right here. And I'm thinking, no, I want you to come with me. Sometimes he would, and a lot of times he wouldn't. When he could no longer hide that he was in serious discomfort, we began to take on other types of modalities to correct it. I'm telling you all, my husband spent thousands of dollars trying to get rid of this pain in the left hip joint. We did a bunch of things, but the cream on the crop is when we finally succumbed to stem cell therapy. The least expensive we could get was 10,000 for one shot. And he was in so much pain that we paid it. Now that was before Avini, so we had to put that on a credit card, and we had to be ginger about other kinds of spending. I mean, 10,000 for one shot, one visit. But because we've got a good marriage and we wanted to keep each other happy, okay, let's do it. Do you know that thing didn't do a thing? Nothing.
No?
End of the testimony. Avini wiped it out. Wiped it out. And I think the reason I feel so good now with no pain anywhere in my body is because I not only enjoy the Plus Relief oral spray that knocks out pain neurologically, but we also have Plus Relief if there's a sprain or whatever. The products work. So those are my two favorite testimonies that I feel good, I can dance, I can move. And even when we are doing Bible or word study, while we're listening to worship and praise music, my husband will tell you, I'm up moving, I'm dancing, I'm enjoying myself, and I don't lack energy.
Wasn't it Chip a couple weeks ago that spoke about like as we age, why does it have to look like what some people think it looks like? You're what we should be looking at, acting like, feeling like, right? There's no reason
Exactly.
for us. I had talked to someone today who broke her hip.
Ooh,
And it's the journey's been tough, very, very
yeah,
tough, but finally
yeah.
had an opportunity. She started to listen. I told her about you, and she's a little bit older than you, but she was very active. So same thing. She's going to use that cell defender. I swear by that plus motion. I can
Hey,
play tennis
come
under
on.
my toe moves now.
Yes.
That-
Yes, yes. We've just started playing pickleball. Oh my goodness. You have to move differently than tennis, but we can do it. In fact, we just bought new tennis shoes so that we could. And for Christmas, I gave him a pair of paddles. And the paddle I found says, believe in yourself. And that's what I want to tell people. We have more than hope. Can I tell you a story?
Please.
How does MJ do it? Can I tell you a story? My story is you can have the story you want if you will tell yourself what you want and don't let anything get in the way. As a professor, we often have to write things. And I remember writing up something I was told to write. It was gruesome. I did the research, I did the work. When I went down to get it, and a couple of days from the secretary, my supervisor had already gotten my work from the secretary that typed it. Now, that's a no no in academics, but she did it. And there wasn't a lot I could do about it because I was in an institution. In Avini, we're not in an institution. We have more than hope. We have a method, a strategy. We have a beautiful CEO who's willing to give us his money, and he does. And I just love the lifestyle change. I don't have to have somebody over me telling me what to do, how to do it, when to do it, do this data. Oh, that used to drive me crazy. My beloved husband would go with me to the office sometimes and literally help me do the data on the students. I loved working with the students. Beautiful. I like that. That's in my DNA. But they told me what to do, when to collect, and when it was due. That was murder for me because I'm just not structured like that. But in Avini, we have our own business, and you can do what you want, when you want, how you want. Now, it behooves us to listen to our leaders and to glean from them and to have a coach, mentor, or teacher. but you still get to call the final shot. And I think that freedom is what I really, really, really like. And I can go to as many as I like, when I like. And when I tell people that I'm giving the opportunity to come into Avini, when I tell them, look, I can get so and so on the phone right now if you want me to. And if he's busy or if she's busy, she'll call me back. And they look at me like, you can? I said, I have the phone number for our CEO. Come on. This is a real business that cares about people. And I can't reiterate enough how sweet people are. I remember at one of the summit meetings, Ed just came over, sat beside me, and I felt with my husband in front of me that I was in la la land. It's like, how good can it be? The people not only care, they give and share of themselves. And the lifestyle change that I want to talk about is this: we do more now because we've got the extra income, and it's not taking us a lot of extra time. The first few summits that Avini had, we didn't go to, we were counting the dollars. We've been to the last several, and this last one, we added on a flight before to visit a dear friend who just turned 99. And we added another flight after to visit a girlfriend in Los Angeles because we had the money. Money isn't everything, but it's right up there sucking to air.
Speaking about money, I think I heard a story once about some sort of monthly. Avini had the opportunity to bypass something monthly that
True, true,
came
true.
in the mailbox to you. Is that
You
right?
all,
You want to
I am,
clarify that?
that's it. I'm not exaggerating. The retirement that I get, some call it a pension, the retirement I get from the university for 27 years teaching at Virginia Commonwealth University is less than what I get on an average from Avini. My Social Security, which I get monthly, and it's not bad, is less than what I get from Avini on an average.
That's pretty
You
powerful.
you work when you want to work, and if you want more, you can have more. Nobody can stop you. And if you feel that your energy is running low and you're not doing what you want to do, get on the calls, get on the Zooms. That's why I'm on so many. I hate negativity. All I have to do is tune into any of the calls. There's my upper, and I didn't drink any alcoholic beverage, pop any pills, or do anything illegal. It's there for us. You never have to feel down. And the free training we get from the MJ Durkin program is par excellent. In all of the years of my educational stuff, I've never had training that was better because he teaches us to sustain the momentum by the activities you engage in, and they're fun. I got to have fun. Can y'all tell I like to have fun? I
You're
really
always
do.
having fun. Ever since I met you
And
the very first day, and then I met you at the summit. I said that energy, she's got it. I love it. We really appreciate you so much, Sandra. You're always just a joy. The joy radiates from you, and we can all feel it through the screen, right, guys? Everybody's giving you thumbs up and hearts. I want to talk to you. I'm not cutting you off yet because we want to hear from you again. At the end, you're gonna give us our words of wisdom. But I want to introduce somebody that is really special to me. I know her quite a long time, but talk about educational data. So I was the director of literacy and we had to do the data. It was adult literacy. And boy, I hated that input too. Let me show educational gain in 6 weeks, right? Oh my gosh. And the state like really, really put the hammer on us. I remember the woman coming in all the time and she'd drill us what we had to do to show the educational gain, the data, the data, the data. Oh, I hated it too. But somebody I met I got to know Sarah Hall. Sarah, why don't you unmute a minute? And I thought Sarah would be good to have on here. Sarah, we became friends. Well, we became colleagues, but then I roped her into, I mean, I asked her to be the president of our board. And she did. She served on the board for a long time with us. She became the president of our board. And right, Sarah, wasn't easy. But I know her also because she helps me with our personal finances as a professional financial advisor. And that's sort of like what we're talking about here, a checkup on our health and our wealth, right? Money's not everything. But so you said it helps, right? We can do more good. And Sarah's helped my husband and I for years with planning for the future, planning, financial planning, planning. When we leave this earth, guess what? Avini's going to somebody, and Sarah knows that. She's been helping me along. But Sarah, you're a college professor. You were a college professor too before this, what you do now. But I want you to come on and say hello. Sarah is one of my customers also. So I thought you might have a couple minutes to share. Sarah, welcome.
Sure. It's nice to be here. Nice to meet all of you. And yeah, I want to second that. People tend to put things in silos that shouldn't be in silos. A lot of financial advisors talk to you about, you know, managing the assets, and that's what they talk about is going to make your retirement. The kind of financial advisement I specialize in is called protection powered financial advice. And in that protection part, we're protecting against different risks in retirement. And the biggest risk is ill health. And the second biggest risk is a good one, is longevity. Both of them are risks to having your money last as long as you do. And so by doing all of it, you really are brought face to face with that whole thing that if you don't have your health, you don't have a single thing on this planet. And so I'm kind of a preacher for that. And I have to say, in terms of what pursuing health and what being a Avini customer does, is I have my own financial business. I'm with New York Life and Non-Life Securities, and I specialize in retirement planning and in tweaking people's retirement. Last year's I earned a designation as a retirement planner, RICP, and I also have one in long-term care. Yeah, and I used to be, I have a master's in journalism from Stanford. I used to be a professor, but the thing is that you have to pull it together. And what I don't want to sound conceited, but like Sandra, the biggest blessing is that I'm about to be 75. And I lead an absolutely great life with work I'm passionate about, with clients I work with every day, with my family, with my church work, and a couple of other philanthropies that help with women's education and with community supporting each other in the community business realm. So none of that is possible if you do not have your health. None of it. And if you're trying to have a long retirement, one thing I learned when I got my RSCP was that we're supposed to tell our clients who are of average health that they need to have set aside in just bank money about 144,000 each in overage costs for health events. But that's not the worst. The worst is if you don't have any long-term care protection, they tell us as advisors to tell you just to set aside about 400,000 each for a long-term care event. Well, I don't have many clients who want to set aside an extra 800,000 in their family just to sit in the bank because they need protection. And the only way you're going to qualify for protection is to have your health first. Sick people do not qualify for protection. So this is for you and for your clients. You may not realize it, but I know from my work and my witness taking Cell Defender and Avini fiber and just living healthy, no meds, not a single med at 74 and three quarters, nothing. I know that your health is your treasure, and you spreading that gospel as reps for Avini, you're helping people in ways you don't even realize. You don't even realize it. And I like Christine, I live here in the Hudson Valley, about 70 miles from the city in Montgomery, New York, but we have had snow cover solid. It's still there since the 24th. I've lived in Vermont, I've lived in northern Michigan. It's unusual to have over a month with no thaws. And if you don't have that health, you're gonna not be feeling good all the time. And then people's minds go. So I have to say thank you to you guys in your work and to keep it up and to realize these silos are not important and not, they're not true. For you to be able to do a good job with your future, which is what my heart is financially, you have to pay attention to all kinds of risks, including um, frailty, including longevity, including, of course, volatility and stuff. But don't just think that assets under management is your way forward to be able to have a happy retirement. You have to do the whole thing, and you have to care about your life and be involved and be committed, to your faith. This has to be holistic, or it won't work as well. So
Thank you,
thank you for
Sarah.
having me.
Thank you. You're very welcome. So years ago, I went to Sarah and I said, listen, I want to write a grant and we're going to teach financial literacy. And I think it was the Women's Fund from the United Way gave us our first grant and we taught it together. And we taught, probably we had about maybe 300 alumni through the years but it was so amazing because some of the women, they'd come into this course because and we allowed men in it. Eventually, we had some men come in, but a lot of women came to this course because they were in crisis. I remember one woman came, she had 23 credit cards. Another woman came, she hadn't opened her mail in 6 months. It was horrifying. No sleep. They weren't sleeping. They didn't have that extra dollar bill. And so what we did is we taught them, okay, we're going to build your emergency fund. Right, Sarah? Step by step by step. And to this day, we're so blessed. I was telling Sandra yesterday, we still get letters from people that made a difference in their life. And that's what I feel Avini is now doing for us. Chip and Tony, I want to welcome you. We always love to hear from you. We're almost there. So I'm going to have Chip and Tony come on. And then Sandra, you'll close us out with some good words of wisdom, I hope. And I know, I don't hope, I know. Hey,
Well,
Chip.
I need to ask, is there anybody on the call who isn't a college professor?
I'm not anymore.
So, one of my thoughts is, Avini comes from smart and it attracts smart. And I'm especially watching Carol Witt's head bop up and down as she listens to Sandra Thornton. Why? Because she works with entrepreneurs in many countries, over 80 countries now. And I'm thinking what those entrepreneurs would love to hear from Sandra Thornton and now from Sarah Hall as well. You know, what perfect lessons for every person there are. I have just one last little thing I'd like to throw into the mix here, since everybody's taught some sort of a course along the way. Do you know the difference between a teacher and a network marketer? I made this up, but I think, guess what? And you just saw it.
I got it. It's income.
Well, the unlimited income is part it. Yeah, that's a good one. What I was going to say is the networkers invite their own class, and I'm watching Sandra speaking and Sarah speaking, and they know that the people are hungry for what they're learning and getting every little bit of information out of them. Sandra and I have done a cajillion three-way calls, and so one of the things we have to judge is how quickly the people are learning. And if it's someone who's learning quickly, I feed it to them quickly. And Sandra kind of gives me an indication of what rate. So we have to read our class. When you read an Avini class, you can bet you're speaking to people who are hungry for knowledge and wanting to find a way up. And with that, I pass it over to my Tony.
He does
My camera sharing person.
like on stage when he popped that energy on at Summit. But no, it was wonderful to hear both Sandra and Sarah. And starting with Sandra, I couldn't help in not only enjoy everything that she said, including when she moves in on the camera like this. It's such a precious in touch
and
to
Al
her
in the
audience.
background, you gotta watch Al. You gotta watch Al's expressions.
And
He's
Al,
verifying everything.
well, that was that Al was enjoying everything, just kicking back and just loving his wife, just really enjoying everything that she was saying. And I'm so glad that you had Sarah on in addition to bring on the fact that, yes, I wrote in the caption, money isn't everything, but it's like air. Try and do without it. Try and do without it. And we really do have to honor the talents that we've been given, take care of the talents that we've been given, and do something with it, and not bury it, but do something responsible with it. And I love, Christine, that you and Sarah taught women. I taught my employees. I would bring in a counselor to teach financial responsibility to the young students that I had working for me when I worked with health stores. So they have time on their side. But loved both women. Sandra, you are amazing. Love, love, love hearing your youthful enthusiasm because you're eternally, eternally youthful. You never have to say your number because no one will believe you.
I think Avini is I believe that there's a day coming. It's already here for me when being one of the people that started Avini in America will be one of the most respected professions and careers. And certainly what Sandra said, what could Sandra and I have started at our ages that would have no upward limit on our income? What about the young people? We need to intentionally reach the young. If you were going to start at a profession that had the capability of like a sports star, that kind of capabilities, and you could just get better throughout your lifetime, that you didn't age out, and you could have a profession that just created more and more and more and more. This is a great place to come. I bet you a lot of us here started probably when we were around 40, 45 is prime time to start doing this kind of work. And so kind of give you an idea when people they've hit their head on enough walls that they really appreciate something like Avini, where all of a sudden the way forward is so open. That's I'm trying to quit. Thank you.
Thank you, Chip. Hannah, you have your hand up, and then Eddie Kowalski, you can follow Hannah, okay?
Sarah, I love always being with Sandra, and I always have to say the beautiful part about our Avini family and with all of us meeting at the different meetings, we have fun and we have so much laughter, and we cannot never stop gabbing with each other and learning from each other. But Sarah, thank you very much, because looking for emerging leaders, young people, they're going into the financial world and they're meeting with their clients, and they are chiropractors, they are all in every field. And I love with what you're sharing, and what my feeling is, I'm wanting to share with them that we can be another resource of financial freedom, along with sharing the products that they bring, the health and the wellness. And if something happens to the chiropractor or somebody and they can't work, they've got their financial planner that's helping them in the background. But if they're also introduced to MLM and to Avini products, they too will have a leveraged income, a residual income that's coming in that will get them through the time that they cannot work, and
Thank
they
you,
can
honey.
share it with all their community.
Thank you,
So
honey,
thank
for
you.
sharing that. Yeah. Eddie Kowalski, you want to comment? And then Sandra, we're gonna let you close, okay?
Yeah, just real quick. First, Sandra, when I walked over to your table and met you and Al, I walked in, but I floated away. I was just so enamored with you. You were such a bright light, and I didn't know who you were. I'd seen you on the Zooms, and I was blown away. I mean, and by the way, I was a college recruiter at two different colleges. I understand how the system works. Okay, I worked at Auburn University and I saw my pay scale and I said, okay, what am I going to make next year? It's like, oh, you're going to get a bump of like 5%. I'm like, okay, I literally promise you, I walked the hallways of Auburn University and I was in Excel with Christine. That was in 95, 96, Christine. And I was walking through the halls saying, you know what? When I call and check my bank account, it's going to be in the six figures. I was dreaming in 96. And now let me shift gears on that. And Sandra, thank you. You and Al are awesome. I love Al, man. He's in the background there just chilling out. My sister, I have two sisters, and I'm going to shift gears to the product real quick. And then I'll take one more minute. I have been trying to get both of my sisters on our products for 3 years. Christine, we've been in it for what, 3 years and a month? And my one sister, she's 58, and she just always thought that she knew a better way. And finally, this is where I need to thank Chip and Tony. I convinced her to get on the phone. She's got some pretty serious issues going on. And got her on the phone, and finally she figured out that her big brother kind of knows what he's talking about a little bit. He's not just some dumb baseball player. So when you had that conversation, Chip and Tony, with her, this is what's happened. And I'll just tell you the quick little thing here from her. She's never asked me anything about what I've done. Never asked me about Avini, never asked me what I do, nothing. So I just said, okay, I give up. Chip said hydration, cell defender plus fiber for her needs right now, limited budget. This is what she texted me Tuesday. I'm beginning to feel my legs again. I really am. And then she says, love you, can't thank you enough. Oh, and I can walk much better and the pain is subsiding big time. Then she says, I take the fiber and hydration together in a glass of water and juice before bed every night. Thank you. I love you. That's 3 years of me working on my sister. And Chip said the words that I think meant the most. He said, this is brotherly love, and he's trying to help you. So the products work, guys. I mean, they're big time work. And my sister, for her to do that, like, meant the world to me. So that's all I
Thank
got.
you, Eddie, for sharing. That's powerful. Family can be the toughest, guys, so they will come around eventually. Sandra, would you mind closing us out tonight? And then I'll just have a couple of dates announcements when you're finished. Thank you, Sandra. Thank you, Eddie and
I
Sarah.
want I want to thank each one of you for having a heart that cares about other people. And as you assist other people, not enabling, but as you assist people in doing what they need to do for themselves, you can't help but grow. You can't help but be better off. And then to top it off, you're going to earn more, which means you can do more. I had the privilege Tuesday night, just 2 nights ago, of delivering a package for a dear friend's child. That's all I was doing. He told me that night what a serious financial situation he was in, and I've known him since he was a little person. He shared that he was in a tight squeeze. He said, just pray for me. That's what he was asking for. But because of Avini, I was able to be philanthropic. I am so pleased now to be able to say to people more than I'll pray for you. Likewise, today, when we had the call with Paul Stowers and Doug, one of our downline distributors, well, not downline, yeah, one person down, said on the call, I had a health crisis and I fainted, fell out. My ribs are still sore, but because I was on the Avini products, I am so much better off. And thank God my wife and daughter were in the house at that time. And then he called us, no, we called him right after the call, just because we wanted to see what else we could do to help. And he said, thank you so much for calling. But because of Al and Sandra, I don't have to worry anymore. I'm not going to have that. I'm going to take my products even more diligently. Then, icing on the cake, we got off the phone and immediately Doug Dickey called him because Doug was one of the presenters on the call this morning. What kind of leadership do we have where somebody at the top calls a little person near the bottom to say, I heard your call and this is what I want to also offer? And he gave an additional suggestion. He said, you were probably also dehydrated. And they talked. I'm talking about the genuine caring that we have in this body. When he told me that, I mean, Al and I already love Doug. We've had him here on the East Coast. But do you hear what I'm saying? That this is not a fake community. I was so impressed that Doug would call our person just because on the call he had an idea that would help the situation, the crisis that he mentioned. That's what we have. And if we don't take advantage of it, use it for ourselves and others, I think we're going to be held accountable. The Word of God says, those who have much, of whom much is given, much is required. I used to get so angry when my mother would tell me that. It was like, stop laying a guilt trip on me. But I wouldn't say it out loud because my mom was always right. But what I'm saying to us is do what you're doing with your heart because it will make a difference, not just to you, but to many others. And who knows, if you're single, you might end up with a wonderful spouse. If you're single, you might be a better off, more independent single because you've got some skills under your belt. You're not afraid to talk to people. Every one of us is worthy of admiration, and we are here for a purpose. Find out what your purpose is and do something. People are hurting, and I love now being able to share with other people, and you can do that too. Thank you for Avini Vibes.
Thank you, Sandra, so much. That was so amazing, and his words will never return void, right? So thank you for sharing that. Hey, guys, we're going to close now, but remember, there are some announcements. That 11 o'clock call today was powerful. Every day you can jump on, you can learn. You don't even have to pay for a course, right? We have so much knowledge out there that is for the taking. So Tuesday nights are always the CEO call. We have the social media call this week with Nicole. That was great. And then, so check the schedule on Avini Health Training for all the updated calls. There's so much knowledge out there and it's there for you. So let's all get proactive. Let's all get out there. Regional conference, May 15th and 16th in Boca. Make sure you mark your calendar and get there. And then I don't know about you. I told my husband today we're going to Orlando in October. And he says, really? I said, yes, it's already scheduled. So we keep it on the calendar already, October 15th, 16th, and 17th. And we are going to do an event in New York. And the flyer is getting approved today. And I'll send the flyer out. So we're going to have an event in March. MJ Durkin and Dave Gilday will be joining us right here in New York. So I'll send that out as soon as I get the approval back, hopefully in the morning. God bless each and every one of you. Carol, thank you again. And thank you all for voting for Victoria. Sarah, always love you. Sandra, Chip, Tony, all of you. Eddie, God bless. Have a great night.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. It was really real, everybody.
Wonderful, Sandra.